tell us a little bit about the upcoming train show that's going to be held in Albany.
This coming January 24th, 25th for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to have vendors from all across the South come and set up at the Knights of Columbus Hall on Gigginville Road. And Saturday we're going to start at 9 o'clock and go till 5 o'clock. And then Sunday we'll open the doors at 10 and wind it up about 4 o'clock.
If someone attends the show, what are they going to see there?
The vendors are going to have track, locomotives, rolling stock, tank cars, hopper cars, flat cars, different pieces for the locomotive to pull, track, turnouts, switches, scenery items such as buildings, structures, automobiles, tractor-trailer trucks, telephone poles, whatever you need to finish outfitting your layout.
Okay. How many vendors do y'all expect to be at the show?
We're hoping 6 to 7, but they're going to have multiple tables. I know that one vendor is going to have about 8 to 10 tables alone, so they're going to have a lot to choose from.
Okay. And you told me there's a difference between a toy train and a model train.
A toy train usually does not have a level of detail. It's going to be molded on grabs, molded on horns, but a scale model is going to have a lot more smaller pieces, a higher level of detail, things that are not molded. It's usually separately applied parts to give it that extra level of detail that makes it a scale model. My dad brought home a train set in 1968, and I was 8 years of age, and my brother and I picked up on it, so Dad put together a 4x8 layout for us to put it on, and we did scenery, we did mountains, bridges, we did a lot with that 4x8 layout, and it entertained us for hours on end. And my brother still models, and I've been modeling ever since. It's just been a joint hobby that I've grown up with my brother, and it's been an interesting hobby.
If somebody were interested in model train club, what would they need to do?
Model train railroad is interesting in that it takes left brain, right brain. There's some creativity, thinking up your track plan, dreaming up how you want to lay out your buildings. And then there's carpentry involved, some wood cutting, there's electrical, hooking up some wires. Not very complicated, but just basic wiring, electrical. And then putting it all together and enjoying the fruits of your labor, seeing it come to fruition when it's complete.
Okay. Now the Albany Club meets once a month, correct?
The Albany Flint River Railroad Club meets the third Tuesday of every month at 7:30 on the half hour, and we're meeting at Raleigh White Baptist Church in the gymnasium building upstairs. We have a layout that's got over 400 plus feet of HO track. We have modelers that do N scale. Some of them do O, but they're home layouts. But we do have modelers in all scales. So if somebody has a question or a problem, or they just want to see something that's done in a grand scale, in the scale that they're modeling that's not HO, we can help them with that. And if they've got a collection of HO and don't have a place to run it, a problem with Albany and South Georgia, we don't have too many basements, and people are starving for a place to run trains. A 4x8 is about as big as they can do in a bedroom somewhere, but you join the club, we've got, like I said, over 400 plus feet of track. We've got sidings, spurs, tracking exercises to pick up and put out cars, and passing other trains. And it's an interesting club to get into.
And I noticed that it's moved ahead technologically as well. You're using radio controls and instead of the old little transformers like I remember from when I was a kid.
That's I think they call that old school now. Just a simple rheostat, forward, reverse. Now with the DCC, a lot of locomotives, and there'll be some at the train show that have sound. And you can, it's not just going forward. Now you turn on the headlight, you turn off the headlight. You can turn on ditch lights now that the current locomotives have. You can blow the horn, ring the bell, and all those are independent operations.
Just an estimate, perhaps, if somebody decided, I had a lot of fun with a train set when I was a kid, I'd kind of like to get back into it, what kind of investment would it be? I mean, it's not really a very expensive hobby at the start, I wouldn't think.
What I tell folks is you're not going to write one big check at one time. It's a hobby. You start out small with a basic kit, track, transformer, your wood, dream up, lay out a plan to scale, and then just take it one piece at a time, kind of pay as you go is what I did. Get a locomotive here, a locomotive there, add some box cars and some track, and you just take it just in baby steps and just, like I said, pay as you go. The installment plan. Locomotives range anywhere cost-wise. They can be had for $30. Some of them run on up into the $300 range, depending on what level of detail you want, if you want sound.
I understand the club used to meet down on Washington Street downtown, over in the 100 block, and then it moved down into the Sandy Bottom area.
That's right. When the club started out in 1991, about a year before I joined, I think they started out at one of the club members' homes. And then shortly after that, I think we were in the Albany Mall for a short while. And then it wasn't long after that the 100 block of Washington Street next to the drugstore was kind enough, and that's where we moved. And we were there for about 10 years, I think, maybe a little bit longer. So it turned to be a real good place for us to build and grow as a club, and we hosted the train shows all during that time. And then that turned into another business, and we had to vacate that premise. So we left and moved across the street and up the street where the old Hubble's building was. We were upstairs and downstairs. And then that didn't work out, and so we were homeless for about a year. And Raleigh White was kind enough to take us in, and we set up here in the gymnasium building upstairs. And we've been here since summer of 2014. And they've been kind to us. And if somebody's interested in joining the club and even looking for a church, it could be a twofer for them.
Okay.